My name is Tony Teo. I am the founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa, your African clean energy champions. And I have with me two very important people, together with my regional director, Orochwe from Kenya. So, Orochwe, want to say a quick hello?
Hello, each and everyone. It's a pleasure that you guys are joining us. So kindly keep it locked.
Excellent. So I have with me Marielle and Kevin, both are executive of the very interesting company that we're going to talk about. I don't want to mention the name. I'm going to let them do that in their own terms. So both of you, Marielle, Kevin, hello today. How are you?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever anybody is.
Wherever everybody is, exactly. In COVID time, you don't know, right? So you could be working in Africa and be in Bali. Yeah, that's the way it works today. So let me now move into the topic that brings us today, right? So Marielle and Kevin, so I wanted to give justice to you, to your career, but also to the company that you're both representing. And I wanted to find out whether you would please be kind enough to introduce yourself, but also the company that you are running. So any of you start and then the other follow.
Kevin?
Yes. Okay, my name is Kevin Musila. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kenya Green Supply Limited. That is the KGS group. The company was started in the year 2013. And since our aim has been to develop smart devices, good products that are run on renewable energy and are able to support the green revolution. Generally, we started as a distributor, and now we've developed a good product that we call Allsola that we're talking about today. Thank you.
Excellent. Marielle?
Hi, my name is Marielle Phillett. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kenya Green Supply Limited, which is a company based in Nairobi, Kenya, and then also the KGS Group LLC, which is an American company based in Florida. And Kevin and I started the company back in 2013 and in Kenya. And it's been a journey so far, and we're so excited to share all that with you guys. And yeah, just talk about it and the product that we've developed, which we now are solely focused on. So yeah, we're very excited to talk and chat.
Excellent, excellent. So now you talked about a product, and what I've heard is very revolutionary, right? And then I was wondering whether you can tell me more about that, and also tell me if there is any stat that is backing up what you're saying. So what is that product about?
So the product that we have developed is basically a solar smart home solution for rural consumers who need electricity, which is essentially lighting, mobile phone charging, some productive use of energy, and then also information and internet. So it's a combination of energy and internet, essentially connectivity and electricity that is allowing the household to make productive use of a computer, a television screen, but also the lighting piece, which will allow them to also make more productive use of their time and energy. So it's really about the whole household and getting the household working in a way that meets some of the needs of modern society in other countries too. So bringing these households into that standard so they can free up their time to participate in the world economy. Yeah, so I think it's really about the revolution here is not just bringing people electricity and bringing them online, but it's also bringing their minds online with the rest of the world, connecting the rest of the world with them, allowing them to share on the internet, allowing them to learn alongside American students, any students from all around the world. So it goes beyond the electricity and the internet, which tend to be the physical things, into more the end goal here, which would be connecting people and systems and machines, etc. So yes.
Excellent. And the
All
good
those
thing is,
things.
I could see Kevin who was showing us the product and showing us a demo voice. That's fantastic. That's great. So let me just add a question here. So how did you come up with this idea? So that's pretty interesting.
Kevin?
Yes, the idea came about from our previous work. Generally, we started as a distributor, and at that point, we were just distributing people's products, like other people developing the product and distributing it. Then also, it depended also on the market demand at the time, because there was a shift from just providing advice for lighting and charging to bringing more solutions to the market, or giving the customer more than just lighting and charging. So at that time, while we were distributing other devices, we were not able to innovate around those devices because they were not ours. So we decided to come in as a developer and start designing our own product and listening to the market and what people were talking about, what they need. We need a TV. We need something that maybe a TV that's not consuming a lot of energy and is also dependent on solar. We need internet. We need a computer, something like that. So all these informed what we want. We now went into to make. And at the end of the day, we settled on a device that can combine generation of energy, storage of energy, and utilization of energy. And that's what we have developed. We named the device the Allsola, which means you're providing light, you're providing charging, you're providing entertainment plus internet. You can call on the device and other aspects. So we managed to put much of what the market or that customer wanted onto one simple device that you can just carry around. Still, you get all that value. That is what motivated our innovation and our way of like looking at what we're making before we bring it to the market. Also, we looked at what other people are bringing on the market, and looking at what they're bringing, you find that they're hooking several accessories on a battery for it to make a device or a solution for that customer. But for us, we are really bringing a device that is able to offer those solutions on a go. That is the device we're making.
This is very, very interesting, I must say. Very. I personally haven't come across such a product before, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I just didn't look far enough. I want to know, so what has been the market penetration? Because I know that it's still a fairly new product, but how is the market receiving the product so far?
I can take this. So what we're doing right now is we had to go through a process of submitting the software for the device to Google Android team, because ultimately we wanted all of the customers to have access to the Play Store. So that was a pretty rigorous process. It took about 18 months. That was completed in December of 2019. And that really gave us the go-ahead to say, okay, now the software is like market ready. So at the very least, we can begin mass production with that operating system. Lighting Global is still in process, but we received the test report. It stated essentially that everything was normal, stable. you know, essentially that I think there would be no issues with that being granted Lighting Global, which is important for the lighting aspect and quality control in general. For it's a quality check on the factory, etc. So that will be granted, and then we will go into production probably later this year, depending also on orders. So at the moment, we're trying to generate orders, which is another part of the reason that we're doing this podcast. We want any interested parties, whether it be governments, non-government organizations, nonprofits, foundations, any NGO, any interested party, to come and join us. Our email is info@kenyagreensupply.com. Email us anytime. So, you know, we want to spread the word now, and the launch in each and every country will also depend upon the partners that are, you know, that we're choosing. Again, banks, NGOs, it could be any mobile operators, especially. Have a money-making opportunity with regards to this, and the banks from the loan side. So we're open to proposals from any place. And so the launch is also dependent then upon those partners coming in, dedicating also resources, because at the end of the day, we're a device manufacturer. We focus very strongly on software and hardware, and making sure that we deliver on time and correctly, not necessarily deal making in each and every country, because the political situation and or economic situation or whatever it may be is not that's not you know, sort of relevant to us. Like, we're just solely focused on delivering this product. So the launch also can depend on other players, is how I would put it.
Excellent. That's great. Though I'll come back to you with regard to the issues and potential barrier that we could identify here. But just before I come back to you with that questions, I wanted to call upon my my colleagues here. So Oluwach, who's I have to say, before you joined RIA, so I know you before, you were an expert into, you're probably the best expert I know of green markets across the region, Southern Africa. So I wanted to get your 2 cents on this product that we're talking about today. So you know the market very well. So what's your take on it?
Okay, thanks, Tony. Currently, around 600 million people, or roughly half the population of sub-Saharan Africa, don't have access to grid electricity. And it seems pretty unlikely the grid is going to get to many of those consumers at any time. So we need a different solution. And off-grid solar is turning out to be a really effective way of bringing energy and modern digital services to consumers who don't have access to electricity, to grid electricity. Many people are unaware of the sheer number of communities around the world that are simply unreachable by existing power grids and are thus cut off from the world around them, with no access to basics such as the normal things that they need to use and maybe juggle around and get information from. That is basics such as the news and internet connection. So most of them, just plugging in a solar panel won't help. So I'm happy that Allsola has come up with more innovative solutions to help those communities to connect to their world. You realize it's one thing to be able to provide a household with electricity, and it's another thing for that household to be able to access the services that that electricity delivers. So rather than just providing a socket in the wall, Allsola delivers not only the power, but also the devices and the services that go along with them. So for example, they deliver a 13-inch smart television, which not only acts as a computer, but also comes with channels of satellite content that would look just as at home in Miami or in Cape Town as it does in a rural household, say in Kenya or even in Ghana. There's still a long way to go before everybody in Africa has equal access to energy. And Allsola is not only and services, which mean that consumers have access to modern digital services that they might reasonably expect and want. Looking also at the market itself with regards to sub-Saharan Africa, you realize that at the moment there's quite a big demand with regards to solar home systems, because it's one key area that SDG 7 is focusing on. And I'm happy that Allsola is also coming in to fill that void and ensuring that not only the rural communities, but also peri-urban communities have an access to reliable, safe, and affordable source of energy. So good job, Allsola.
Excellent. Good. I think that's a strong support there that you get from my regional director. That's great. So coming back to you, Maria. So you were talking about some of the issues that have been identified, and you and I have been talking about that even before. So I was saying that my personal experience, I know that in many countries, so the regulatory framework has been a big stumbling block for the sector. Whether you talk about utility scale,
Has been based on what?
I say the regulatory framework has been a big stumbling block for the sector. Whether you're talking about utility, CNI, or obviously off grid. So I don't know what has been your experience in particular to this product that you're bringing up. So have you had also an issue in this side, or everything's been a calm river?
I think it's up to the presidents of each of the countries that need to enact their national energy action plans, whether they want to put the base of the pyramid first or themselves and their families first. So everybody has to decide that for themselves. And if you put the people first, then everything else flows naturally. You tend to hire the right contractors who get things done. You tend to actually put things correctly, building them up instead of destroying them. So I think it's really a matter of putting the people at the base of the pyramid who have, at this juncture, suffered a lot, probably enough. And, you know, if we're going to allocate money from Europe and the United States and other places, it shouldn't be stolen. It should be properly spent.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
I think that's a fair strong message that you're sending up there, and a message I think will be shared with many company in the sector and cross experience. So let me move on to the next questions, and which is, you know, how have you guys been adapting in the COVID environment? Because that has brought a new set of challenges, but also opportunities for players in the markets. What is it in your case?
Kevin, or you want me to talk about it?
Let me say something small and then you will conclude. So to adapt in the face of COVID-19, first of all, for our company, we are using different places to develop our product. First of all, we're using China, our Chinese developers. So they were the first ones hit by COVID-19. We were planning to launch the device probably in March, because of March of this year. But then when they were hit in January, then everything stalled from then. And probably they resumed work in May or June recently. So that has pushed us to plan to launch probably later in the year because of that delay. So how we are adapting is that probably that is that time when everything has been stalled, it has been a good time for us to test the device and make sure that every aspect of the device is working correctly. So mostly from, say, when we had lockdown in Kenya between March and June, we've used that time with a back and forth communication with our developers to make sure that our device is working correctly, traveling to villages, testing from there, and so on. And generally, the way we now communicate and organize ourselves is remotely using internet mostly. So for the entire period of the coronavirus, maybe lockdown and so on. But to date, I think we are now set. The device is almost working perfectly. And just maybe this period has helped us do the thorough testing before now we embark seriously on the launch. I think that's what I can share. Mariel?
Cool. Excellent. I think you had something to add in, Mariel?
Well, we also did not yet do the device demo. If we wanted to also, I don't know, Kevin, do you want to do the device demo or you want me to do it, or maybe both? Because I have one in front of me.
Go
Yes,
for
please go
it. You have
ahead.
it in front of you.
Let's go ahead.
Say again?
I say if you have it in
Please
front
go
of you,
ahead.
yeah, just go ahead.
Just go for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, let's flip the camera here. Okay. Just a moment. Oops. So here we have a 13.3-inch LCD touch. It has a camera at the top, and I believe the microphone is also at the top. It has a stainless steel hinge inside of here that allows up and down. So if you had a bedroom, for example, where the furniture was about this high, but your bed was on the floor, for example, you could tilt the screen down, because there are sometimes beds that are lower down. I'm comparing it also to my computer. This is an HP. This is an 11.1 inch screen. So this is a computer that I use on airplanes, and so just as a comparison point, if you were deciding between a laptop versus an Allsola. The neck is one piece of aluminum, I believe, that is stamped and bended. So it sort of provides that support for the screen. All of the computing power is in the top. The power, like the actual power, is in the base. So there's a pretty large lithium battery in the base. It also has a handle. So this is good for in the United States, people that go camping, but especially for, you know, what we were targeting initially were farmers, for example, who could do a pickup on a crop yield, pick this up, walk to the next area potentially, and do something else if need be. It is portable in that regard. It is heavy, but it's still portable. To go to the back, we have 4 light ports. These are 12 volts DC direct current. I'm not sure how this is coming through on Zoom, but we have a TV input, which is where the antenna cable comes in. This is an LED light that indicates whether the battery is charging or not. This is where the solar panels come in. This is a light switch. This turns off all the lights. And there's Kevin watching. Is it? Okay, Kevin, you go.
Okay, we can see Kevin activating the screen over there. I guess that device that you have, Kevin, is connected directly, right? So it's getting the light from solar panel, right, Kevin?
Okay, he's
Yes.
just give me 1 second. Okay, hold on 1 second, sorry. Okay, so I'll just finish. So these are 4 light ports, and then this is 3 USBs, and this is for charging your phone. So in terms of solar home system functionality, you would find these light ports and these USBs contained within. That's what you would find in a normal solar home system, right? So what we're adding here, and you had asked earlier, like what makes the product revolutionary? It's more about adding on, first of all, a much bigger battery, I would say, and then also adding on the screen. And the innovative moment here for us was, you know, when we tried to connect the old like tube TV or even an LED TV to a solar home system, we were experiencing a loss in energy, because you lose energy efficiency when you connect an appliance to a solar home system, as opposed to designing the system from the ground up, right? So once you do that, you know, you've designed it to optimize itself in a way, right? And also provide you feedback, give you that feedback. So that's why having a computer connected to the power module too, and having those 2 things talk to each other is important, because then we get feedback about both of them. So I'll just show you my screen, because what he was showing before was, I believe, DVB-T2 television, which is the digital broadcasting. But what I'm showing you here is just, this is a device that does not have the Google key written in. So I'm not able to get into this device, unfortunately, but I can just show you roughly that it is a typical touchscreen like feature, raised up about 6 inches off of the desk. Now, the solar panels are 2 30-watt panels, so that's a total of 60 watts power, and this is a DVB-T2 or ISTB for some of the Latin American countries antenna. We might use a different antenna in Latin America. So the antenna also connects into the back of the device like I had shown you before. And then both of them, so the antenna and the solar panels, have a 15-meter cable that will come into the back of the device. And the device can be placed obviously anywhere in the household. And then the lighting cables, there are 4 of them. And I'll just show a picture roughly of the light bulb. It is a 3-watt, 300 lumens light bulb, and it is a screw-in light bulb. I can't screw it because I'm also holding the phone, but it also comes on a 15-meter cable. So you can pretty much light the whole house using your computer, which I think is important for students, teachers, hospital workers, kiosk owners. I think if you have a kiosk in some of the rural parts of Africa, you would tend to want to light the kiosk at night and do computing. Same thing for a teacher or a student or a college student. So we also see an urban aspect to this as well, meaning we talk a lot about the rural consumer. We were just speaking about, you know, how do we make life better and easier for the base of the pyramid that has been, you know, out in the rural with really no help or support whatsoever. How do we work on that? But then how do we also, you know, I think we will see urban users of this device as well, because we have a lot of students, especially now in Nairobi, who will want like a cheap solution, especially when we bundle the data and internet together into one monthly bill. It makes it very easy for the customers to just pay the bill and have what they need to function. Then they can do other things like paint, learn to play piano, all of the wonderful things that they could do. So that would be really the goal here. Okay, so Kevin, do you want to talk about the TV?
Yes. So to get your TV, you get to an app that there's a chip, the DVB-T2 chip that is developed into the device. So you go to this app. There's an app called Pad TV HD, where you just can click on it and then you get TV. So apart from that, you need to connect an antenna at the back of the device. So when you look at my device, there's this white cable. This is an antenna cable that's connected at the back of the device. This one is for lighting. We have 4 ports for lighting, and then there's a cable coming from the solar panel for charging. That's why you can see blue, the LED lighting blue. So once you connected to the antenna cable, you can get TV. You not necessarily have to connect to the internet to get TV. You get it directly from that connection. I think that's all for TV. I think you can watch some TV, local TV. This is Citizen from Kenya. That's all for TV. Apart from that, there's a way you can connect this device remotely to our servers, our database, and there's an app for that to register you as a customer, and then remotely you can be able to register this to our database, and then we can remotely switch it on and off, say if we are selling the device on loan. So all that is part of what you get as a customer.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that is very, very interesting. I think like that. And then I think, Olu, let me just bring you back as well, because I think you've seen the product, and obviously we talked about always how revolutionary it is, and obviously the challenge is always how do we put the message out there, especially in COVID environment. Because before it was simply a matter of go in meeting the customers, engaging with them and talking to them, showing them the support. Now, obviously, there are some restrictions. So, Oluwach, I think you've been familiar with this kind of challenges, and more recently you wrote a piece in our in our platform. I don't know whether you wanted to say a couple of things in there before we wrap up with our last question.
Tony. Yes, Tony. Thanks. So, with regards to what you've just mentioned, we all realize how coronavirus has disrupted the way in which we work and engage as a society. Cities, states, and countries are shutting down. Though at the moment there are quite a number of countries that are lifting their lockdowns, and economies are slowly opening up. During these times of crisis, it's important to adapt your marketing and lead generation strategies to ensure your business continues to bring in revenue and thrives post-pandemic. How does the situation look like for off-grid solar companies like Allsola? How are solar companies doing their marketing during this time of COVID-19? Definitely, companies need to maximize on the current situation by engaging with online engaging online with the potential new customers, also staying relevant and in touch with your current customers, strengthening your brand during this time of crisis, and using of technologies and processes to track leads with your team in a remote environment. You also realize that gone are the days when digital media was considered by some as a passing fad. As a business tool, digital media is no longer optional. It's important to channel. It's an important channel actually for reaching your potential customers. The likes and the followings the business gets on digital media platform translates to more visibility and potential for businesses. Like right now, someone may argue that in rural Africa, that how does one maybe engage with their current or potential customers digitally? One key area that companies like Allsola can leverage on, basically, it's like usage of bulk SMSs, because we realize also mobile phone penetration currently in rural Africa is on the peak. So that's one key area, and it's a digital form of marketing. And the internet and digital media has become an important market to reach potential clients and sell solar products and services. One key area, you realize there are quite a number of places whereby internet penetration is up and running. So it's one area that companies may as well use. And I'm happy that Allsola is also forming partnerships with telcos in ensuring that their customers are able to access internet using their products. And Allsola also as a product will be able to help customers learn more with regards to other companies, maybe agricultural social enterprises, whereby they may as well learn of weather patterns, the best time to plant, the best time to harvest, and stuff like that. So those are some of, in a nutshell, those are some of the ways that currently companies can use and engage with their prospects or current customers.
Okay, thanks for that. Great. So now let me come into the final question of our podcast, because it's been quite interesting so far. So I wanted to ask both you, Maria, and Kevin, or maybe one of you, it's up to you. So where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Kevin, you want me to go first, or you want to go first? You go first.
Okay, so in the next 3 to 5 years, so we're planning to launch a pilot between 3 to 6 months from December this year. So that is majorly to help us generate the market. Probably after market generation, we're going to obviously hope to maybe sell about 10 million units probably by end of that is the minimum, maybe by the end of 3 years, 10 million units, and maybe do more units probably in the end of 5 years. So hopefully by then, and also during the pilot, we hope to generate maybe investment, that both market and investment, demand and so on. So that is going to back up these numbers. Maria?
Sorry, Kevin, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing with you. I hope I can clarify that if you saw me laughing.
Okay.
Yes, I think we're very excited about launching. I think the way we see this going the next 3 to 5 years is that we would like to get some volume out into Africa, because the quorum of devices in the continent will allow us to do some very interesting things. First of all, the devices are feeding back information to us. So we're learning about, like I said, the power module, like I said before. We're learning about how the customers are going to be using the device, what apps they're going to be using. And then I also, in the next 3 to 5 years, want to develop some software for the customers, thinking through what software applications they need, they want, what's going to make their life easier, what's going to make them happier, especially for women, I think. There's a role to play for both men and women. But some of these household tasks are becoming so overly tedious to the point where a woman just cannot participate in the local economy unless there is some help or some way of, I don't know, doing something. I can't I don't know what that's going to be, but I think we need to have women participating a little bit more in the local economy, especially for if the end goal would be to boost GDP. Because if your end goal for any country is to boost GDP and you only have 50% of the population working on it, which is males, then you're missing out. So you need to have women also. You need to have 100% of everybody working on it. And yeah, so I think that's where we see it going for the next 3 to 5 years. And again, like we said, building the partnerships with mobile operators, banks, NGOs, nonprofits, foundations, governments, anyone who wants to see our vision. We're gonna do a new website launching tracing how we're going from the Allsola as a device and KGS as a company to the SDGs. So we're going to do a new mapping exercise, company to UN Sustainable Development Goals. Plus, I'm going to include some frameworks from the World Bank as well, and the IMF. So I think that's also a good start when we talk about the implementing the national energy the national energy action plans for each of those countries, because they also have goals written in them from the UN, World Bank. So getting aligned with the SDGs is so important because that's where some of those ideas came from in the first place. What else can I say? Kevin, anything else? 3 to 5 years, what are we going to do? Kevin, is he there?
Hello. Yes, I think mostly that's all we can do. Maybe also measuring impact, see how the device is helping, how the device is changing lives, what more we can do. That's all Miriel meant about like us getting information on usage of the device and
right.
how we can improve on the device, or what more people want around this device.
And maybe, Kevin, also maybe we should have a conversation about privacy really quickly. So all of the customer data information is written into a terms and conditions document indicating that the customer is passing over, or we as a company and Google are collecting information, because Android also is collecting information. So all of that information is used anonymously to make the device better. It is not spying on individual customers, just to make that very clear. It is anonymized and aggregated to make sure that we protect the customer's privacy.
Okay, I think that's great. I think that was a fairly interesting conversation looking at the product that we had. So Allsola TV. So I just have to thank both of you for the conversation, and then obviously, and for Roach supporting me in recording this. So all I have to say, it's all the best, good luck, and we're hoping to see those 10 million of TV very soon, right? So definitely before 3 to 5 years, because I would say there's lots of people that will need that. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you too.